Have you ever wondered how to turn numbers into smart insights with just a few clicks in Excel? In today's video, I'll show you how to use if function in Excel with 5 practical techniques to analyze and enhance your data using one of the most important functions in Excel. Whether your data is for sales, performance, or anything else, it's simple, powerful, and something every Excel user should know. That's what we are going to follow along with step by step. This is Ahmed El-Gohari, and now you are watching Analytics Gateway. Before we start, let me tell you that the file we'll be using in this video is linked in the description below. You can download it and follow along with me step by step. Alright, let's get started by checking the table that will be used in our video. This is a simple table with almost 10 salesperson in the first column, and each salesperson have its data such as sales value and the rating of the salesperson. And here we have like 5 scenarios of using the if function in Excel. So let's start by the most simple one. The first scenario here, we are going to use a simple if. So all we need is to just flag that the sales value is more than 10,000. But wait a minute, what is if function is made from? There is only one way to figure that. Let's type here equal if and then press tab from your keyboard or double click on the function from this list. Actually, if function is made of 3 main parts. The first part is the logical test. But what is the logical test? Actually, the logical test is a question that its answer is true or false, yes or no. For example, if I'm asking you, do you use Excel? Your answer will be one of these 2 answers. You can answer with yes I do or no I don't use Excel. That's the actual meaning of logical test. And then the second part is the value if true. This value if true, if the logical test give yes or give a true, this is the value will be put in this situation. And the other one, the value if false. So let's stop wasting our time and start working on the first scenario. So our first scenario, I would like to check if the sales value is more than 10,000. All what I need is to start with the logical test, and that's by selecting the sales value at the first cell here in our example. And then to complete the logical test, I need to type equal or more than, less than, or more than or equal, or anything logical that Excel might answer on it by true or false, yes or no. So here in our example, I would like to ask Excel if this value or the value in this cell is more than 10,000 or not. So I'll select the first cell in sales value column and then type more than 10,000. Here we finish the logical test. Then we need to go to the second one or the second part, which is the value if true. If this logical test or logical formula give me a true or give me a yes, what should I do? To know that, I need to type a comma and then I'll move to the value if true. Simply, I would like to make it yes and close my double quote. But if the value is false, I would like to type no. Then close my bracket and press enter. So here's my result. It's yes. If I drag this equation till the end, I'll have yes and no results. Based on what? It's based on the sales value in column C. That was the most simple scenario of using if. It's a simple if. But what about nested if? What is nested if? Nested if is using if function multiple times across your equation or your function. How to do that? If we move to the second scenario, if you noticed, I have 2 ways to do that. The second scenario is I would like to check if the sales value is more than 10,000, and I have another condition here, which is the rating is A. So how could I do that? The first way we'll do that is the nested if. We will use if multiple times in our equation. So we'll start here and then press equal if. I would like to check if the rating here or the sales value first is more than 10,000. If true, I have another condition. So I'll use if again and press tab. I have a logical test or another logical test I would like to check. So I'll select on the rating cell and then type equal between two quotes, I'll type A. This is the second condition I would like to check. And then pressing comma. Please focus that we are now completing the second if and we have another if at the beginning, didn't complete it yet and will complete at the end. So if the second if is already matching our requirements, it will type yes and close our double quote. And if no, I'll type between double quote, not A, and close my double quote. And be focused that we now need to close our bracket for the second if. So I'll close my bracket because I ended it. And then it will refer me back again to the first if I already started with. So now I'm in the value if true. But what if the value if false and the sales value is not greater than 10,000? Here, what I need is to type a comma, and then it will move me to the third part, which is the value if false. So I'll type between double quote, it's not more than 10K, and close my double quote, then finally close my final bracket. If you notice, when I close my final bracket, it gives me a bold sign for the first bracket here in if function at the beginning and the last one. That's it. If I pressed enter in my keyboard, it will check both conditions I already made. So if I drag this till the end, I'll see here yes, not A, and it's not more than 10K. Let's check any one of them. So the first one is more than 10,000 and the rating is A. The second one, it's not more than 10K, so it didn't check the second condition, which is the rating, because the first condition doesn't meet our requirements we need. And if we check the third one, it's not an A. It's more than 10K, but it's not rating A at all. So here's the question. Do we have any simple way to do the same or to get the same result, but with another equation or in a simple way? For sure, yes. Here we can use and, because we have multiple criteria or many conditions or more than one condition we would like to check. How do we do that? All we need is to start with if. But here, wait a second. We have a logical test, but we need two logical tests, not one. So here we will use and function. And function is mainly containing multiple logical tests. We can use one or two or three or any number of logical tests we need. So here in our example, we have two logical tests. The first one, we need to check that this sales value is more than 10K, and the other logical test is that the rating here is equal to A. Don't forget to put your free text between double quotes so your function or equation can identify exactly what you need. Now we ended up our conditions, and all we need now is to close the and function bracket. Now it will referring us back to if function. So the logical test is ready. All we need is to type a comma to move to the second part, which is value if true. What if value if true? It will be yes between double quote. If no, it will be no, and close our final bracket, which is if bracket. I'm pressing enter. Then we can drag this formula till the end. It will give us yes or no. Did you notice something here? The results vary from the first equation and the second one for the same conditions. Here's the thing. If you have multiple results for multiple scenarios, or you have more than two results you need to include in your equation, you have to use a nested if, or you have to use many if in your equation or in your function. But if you just have two conditions or two results, you can use and or that will check in the following scenarios. So let's move to the next one. The next one here, we have a lot of scenarios in the same situation. The first one, we need to check if the sales value is more than 10,000 and the rating is A. Then we will put outstanding. But if the sales value is more than or equal 7K and the rating B, then we will put the result as good. So let's start typing our equation here. So we'll type equal. We'll start with if. This is the first if, and that's where we need to check the first condition in our example. So the first condition is the sales value is more than 10K and the rating is A. We have here two logical tests we need to check. So we'll use and check whether the sales value is more than 10K and the other condition is the rating is equal to A between double quote, and don't forget double quote when trying to type a free text. Then we will close our AND function, so it will referring us back to the if function. And then if this logical test is true, what we are going to type in our cell, to do that we need to type a comma so it can move us to the value if true, if the two conditions are met in our sample or in our example. So we'll type here outstanding, double quote, outstanding, and close our double quote. But what if false? If false, I have another two conditions that might be met or not. So how can I do that? Here in this example, I need to use another if, so it can check the other two conditions and use and. Then I'll check if the sales value is more than or equal or greater than or equal 7K. And the other condition is the rating is equal B, and close the double quote. And then finally I'll close AND function so I can refer back again to the second if. Remember, now we are completing the second if. I'll type a comma. If this value is true, I'll type here good and close my double quote. But what if false? I may keep it empty like that, type double quote and close the double quote without typing anything between, and close my bracket for the second if. And now I don't have any choice except closing the first if bracket, because I have completed the full syntax of first if and second if. So the first if, it will check if the value of sales is more than 10K, in addition of another condition, which is the rating is A, it will put outstanding. If not, or if the value, or if the logical test, my logical test is false, it will check another thing here. If false, it will put an empty cell or make it an empty cells as it is. Then press enter. Now I can drag my equation till the end. Three results here. One of them is outstanding. That's for the result of sales value is more than 10,000 along with A rating. And the other one is blank because the sales value is not greater than 10K or not greater than or equal 7K. The third result is good because the first condition is greater than 10K, but the rating is B, not A. So it moved to the second if, which is checking if the sales value is more than 7K and the rating is B, it will put good. If all my conditions are not met, it will keep the cell empty as it is. And now let's move to the last one, and it's also very important to know because we will focus on using or instead of using and in our formula. Our first sample here is the sales value is greater than or equal 12K, or the rating is A, then I'll give that salesperson a bonus. In this example, I have two conditions. I would give my salesperson a bonus whether it meets any of my requirements. I have two requirements to make a sales values with more than or equal 12K, or his rating is A, regardless the sales value he sold. So how do I make that? All I need is to start with equal and type if. For my logical test, instead of using and, as of the previous example, I'll use here or, so it will check if any of my logical test is met, it will give me a true. So my logical one is that the sales value is more than or greater than or equal 12,000, and my logical 2 is checking the rating if this rating is equal between double quotes A and close my double quotes, and then I'll close or function to get back again to if function, where I'll type comma to move to the second part of it, which is the value if true. If any of my conditions are met, I'll give him a bonus and then close my double quote. Then I'll type comma to move to the last part of it, which is value if false. If value if false, or if this salesperson doesn't meet any of my requirements or bonus requirements, I'll keep it empty because I'll not give him anything. And then finally I'll close my bracket, pressing enter. So now the first one will get a bonus, and then I can drag it till the end. So I have 6 of my 10 salesperson are eligible to have a bonus. That's why, how with that, we can check the first one. He is more than 12K and his rating is A. So the first one is meeting the 2 requirements. The second one is not more than 12K but his rating is A. The third one, his rating is B but his sales value is more than 12K. And the same for here. This one, Ethan Clark, is more than 12K in his sales value and his rating A, so he meet the 4 requirements of having a bonus. That was a straightforward example of how powerful the if function can be. Whether you are making decisions, setting conditions, or adding logical to your spreadsheets, it's a game changer. Finally, remember that the file is used in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and try it by yourself. If this helped you to understand how to use if function more confidently, give this video a like and subscribe for more Excel tips, and drop a comment if you want me to cover using if with another function. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.